Hey everyone, it's Jenna from Canadian Beats Media. Today I'm joined by Moksha from the Montreal and Kentucky Nashville-based duo HuDost for our Stanfest edition of ZOOMIES. Welcome, Moksha.
Hi.
So first off, care to introduce HuDost to our listeners?
Sure. Do you want to know about HuDost?
Yeah.
Or okay, cool. We've been doing it forever. As was mentioned, we're based in Montreal area and Nashville area, but in Kentucky.
Mhm.
We started out just as, two people playing with a bunch of different musicians and expanded into a family over the years. And we now travel with our 6-month-old and our 10-year-old. And we do all kinds of music. We actually do music that is Eastern European, Western, Middle Eastern music, as well as straight up more folk, like we call it electric folk world rock, is what we call our
Okay.
music. Our new album actually got into the radio folk charts in Canada in the top 5 and in the US in the top 10, which was kind of funny for us because we were like, oh, cool, we're folk. We didn't know it. So um, yeah, so we're kind of touring behind that release too right now.
Okay. So tell us a bit more about your latest release.
Yeah, sure. Well, it just like everybody else, it of course was born during COVID
Mhm.
when we were just like everybody else. We were booked to tour the US, Canada, Europe, and Africa, parts of Africa. And suddenly everything was canceled, right? So we suddenly were like, oh, okay, what are we doing in this time? And the default uh healing and positive thing to do was to write music. And so that's what we did. And we wrote a whole album. We also did a whole record of like cover songs of other people that we love too
Mhm.
in that time because we were doing all these live streaming concerts too, right? Um, so we're slowly releasing those now. We released the new album last year,
Mhm.
and it was really quite amazing to see how it unfolded. And it was sort of like we'd written all the songs, and then right at the time when people could actually slowly maybe start getting back together, we went into the studio in Nashville with the guys from Jars of Clay. If you know that band, they have been part of the production and part of the musicians on our last couple albums, and they recorded it with us, and it was kind of funny because we all started like masked and 6 feet from each other, and then you know did our best to do that, but
Mhm.
ended up hugging a lot because
Yeah.
we'd all kind of been in a different state. So yeah, so that was how the album was born basically.
Okay. So you're playing Stan Rogers Folk Festival this year. Is this
Mm-hmm.
your first time playing the festival?
No, we've played it once before with the full band, which was really fun. It was a super rainy festival. So
Okay.
I'm really hoping that this will be clear because the whole festival, I was like, I feel like the ocean is right there. And so we're hoping it'll be nice, clear weather this time. But this time we're coming as a duo, doing it a little bit more stripped down, but we also do a lot of like live electronic stuff and looping and stuff. So we're gonna just do what we do, and it'll be fun. And we have, friends in other groups that are there too that I think will probably be paired with in some of the workshop,
Mhm.
spaces, which is really fun. I know our friends Quote the Raven are there, and
Mhm.
we've been friends with them for a while. And last summer we both played Vancouver Island Music Fest and got to kind of sit on each other's sets, which is it's
Okay.
always a magical thing. That's one of the things we love about festivals is the kind of collaborations that can
Mhm.
happen just naturally through that.
Definitely. So with a stellar lineup, besides Quote the Raven, who are you excited to check out at the festival?
I kind of just, for lack of a better or more appropriate term, want to slut it up and check out as much as I can. There are
Mhm.
actually some musicians that I don't know their music, and I always love discovering too.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be really fun to journey
Mhm.
down that path as well.
Yeah. For someone who has yet to see you perform live, describe your performance in 3 words.
Um, weird, welcoming, surprising.
Awesome. Do you have any other upcoming shows or festivals to tell us about?
We'll be playing actually in the Nova Scotia area. We'll be playing Lunenburg concert series the following weekend,
Okay,
which will be, we're glad that we get to stay out there for 2 weekends and not just
for sure.
dash in and dash out. Aside from that, we're actually playing a couple of festivals in Vermont. We have a couple Quebec dates, some New York dates. And then in the fall, we'll be doing some really cool festivals down in the Southeast, including Cave Fest, if you know what that is. And I don't know if this audience, anyone will be in that area, but it's really cool because we've been invited to do a sound installation performance in one of the caves that's there, that people can have an immersion with it, and
Wow.
it'll be in total darkness. So
Oh,
that
wow.
will be a new experience for us too.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So the next 5 questions are just for fun.
Okay.
What was the first festival you ever attended as a fan?
Oh my gosh, as a fan, probably the Montreal Jazz Fest.
Okay. On July 22nd, there will be a tribute to Gordon Lightfoot at Stanfest. So I have to ask, what's your favorite Gordon Lightfoot song?
Oh man, you're tricking me. I don't know all the songs off the top of my head of his. I've been one of those terrible people. Don't play this. I've been one of those terrible people who just plays his music and I'm not looking at what the song names are.
Well, that's okay because I'm sure a lot of us are the same. We just know we like the music.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a huge variety of food and drink vendors on the grounds at Stanfest, which with all festivals.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite festival food or beverage to enjoy?
Oh, well, okay. This is kind of a lame answer because with how much we travel and tour, I actually try to eat as healthy as I can so that I don't end up feeling unwell. So I do often, there's often like really good Mediterranean food at
Mhm.
festivals. There's often really good Mexican food at festivals. Every now and then I surrender and get the like fried dough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure. If you were to create your own festival lineup, which 4 bands or artists would you want to play along with you?
Oh gosh. Well, I've been just watching continuously the stuff that Brandy Carlisle has been doing in the last while. And Allison, we've known her, Allison Russell, we've known her for a while. And she's just doing such cool stuff. We'd love to join her again. I'll never forget when our son was 2 years old, their daughter was just about the same age. And this is when she was with Birds of Chicago. And we were playing the Woody Guthrie Festival. And our son was like, I am not going off with the babysitter. I am staying right next to the stage. And she was like, I'll take care of him. I'll hang out with him. And it was this really beautiful sharing
Yeah,
of family to family understanding with
definitely.
that. And then, of course, I mean, they've been doing shows with Joni Mitchell, who's one of my all-time
Oh, yeah.
favorites. So those are definitely up there in the top three. How many did you say I get to choose?
4.
4. Okay, well, I have always been, Peter Gabriel has just come out with some new music,
Mhm.
and he has always amazed me as not just a musician, but as an interdisciplinary performer in terms of what he brings in with
Mhm.
what he does. And it's really moving. And I feel like I would have a lot to learn
Yeah.
from that. So
Great answer. So festivals are an awesome part of summer, but what else do you love to do during your summer months?
well, this summer is a special summer because, as I said, we have a 6-month-old baby.
Hmm.
So to be wise, we decided to play festivals and or concert series basically every weekend, but have days between. And since my family is based in Quebec, that's one of the reasons we're doing like, Quebec, Ontario, Nova Scotia, Vermont, these places where we can be stationed with family and then run off for weekends, which is kind of cool, you
That's
know, to be
great.
able to do that. So I don't know, I may get used to it and, you know, want to do that every summer.
You might.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for our Stanfest edition of Zoomies. Thanks for joining me and have a great time at the festival.
Thank you. We're really looking forward to it. And I'll just say, Stan himself, I have been a fan since I was 10 years old. And it's really beautiful to see what happens around his legacy. And so we, you know,
Definitely.
it warms the heart to be there.